I am back. We've had a lot going on in Ottawa County recently. Wow. My goodness. So, here we go. The Ottawa County Health Department has been releasing unverified information in what seems to be an attempt to undermine the Ottawa Impact Commissioners. Said commissioners are not off the hook, but claims from Hambly seem to be a little wild. The health department undermines local authority in other areas as well, possibly on taxpayer funds. The battle for who will be in control of the county is really heating up. Joe Moss answers as to where some of these increased funds have gone. What exactly did the health department spend their increased funds for? The board's response to the director for the health department using county resources to spread gossip was to make the county social media pages unavailable to the director. Somehow the Sentinel, hours after that decision was made, had the email. Finally, the sheriff's office asked for anti-crime video devices, and some citizens pushed back. A lot going on in our county right now. I'm Anon Don. This is the Homes Politicast. All right. So, obviously, it seems obvious to me that the claim that the health department is going to shut down is unverified. The health department hasn't shut down yet, so can't really verify that unless you can provide an itemized budget, which I haven't seen. I would love to see one of those. Health department, if you can give me an itemized budget, that'd be great, because then we could see, all right, what does the requirements, what are the services for our county that are being provided, and how much do each of them cost? So we'll start with these claims by the Ottawa County Health Department that seem to be undermining not only commissioners in our own county, but commissioners in other counties as well. So the Ottawa County Health Department published this piece. Actually, it published a lot longer one. I think this is it. Yeah. So this is from Adeline Hambly. And she says, I think actually I showed you guys this one last week. The proposal would slash down to a total of 2.5 million, or reduced over 60%. Total operating budget for 2024 is 50,000, less than the 2009 budget. So Adeline Hambly, obviously, she's made many of these claims. She's gone very public with it. The Sentinel is all over that, and she posts like this graphic to prove her point. It's just a box, and it just shows total general fund contribution, and it says original budget as submitted. Almost $6.7 million. Commissioner requested budget, $6.5 million. Percent change. General funds available for public health operating expense. So these other two are minus CMH millage transfers, minus county health administrative expenses. The county health administrative expenses both equal 1.6, again, almost $1.7 million. And then it has this weird let's see, 250. You know what? Yeah, so they just minus it, just right out. It's kind of weird how this graphic is set up. Yeah, so I think what they're saying is all this administration, corporate counsel, IT, fiscal, HR, etc. All the administrative expenses are 1.6 million. So we bring that up to 1.8 million. Yeah, so that would leave about 58,500. So again, I wonder, is this what the administrative expenses would be in previous years? That's one question, actually, that Joe Moss poses, and he says something to that effect. We'll get to that in just a second. So after Adel and Hambly released this, what some are calling propaganda, Ottawa County put out this press release. It says that these claims are disingenuous, being made in bad faith for political purposes. The director of public health they say that the director of public health is attempting to influence the budget process through media theatrics instead of good faith conversations with the county administrator and the board of commissioners. It is totally inappropriate and unprofessional. And so yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of claims being made, a lot of weird things that I can't verify because nobody is even trying to really verify them. I talked to Commissioner Bonema over the weekend, and actually on Friday, and he said that he would be open to bringing the budget down to its pre-COVID levels. He's open to that. He wants that to happen. But maybe not necessarily cutting the general fund budget down to 2.85 million. Maybe cut it down to like 3.6 million. Joe Moss and the Ottawa Impact commissioners say that they have different numbers out here. So it says the fiscal year 24 Department of Public Health budget will include a $2.5 million general fund contribution, plus a contribution from DPH's, Department of Public Health's, fund balance to come as close to the historic 3.8 million general fund contribution figure as possible. So again, there's not a number here. What is the fund balance? Where did that come from? Did that come from the general fund? It's just, man, I wish it would be really nice if the Ottawa Impact commissioners would answer me, and I could get some of these questions answered as to what exactly I'm looking at here. They do make the claim again, going back to personnel, that the Department of Public Health's total personnel is more than 1/3 larger than the last pre-COVID year, jumping from around 90 to more than 120 people currently. That's a 33% increase in personnel, and obviously that's much higher than the rate of inflation or population growth. So there's two sides, there's two extremes here. One extreme is Adeline Hambly. She is saying that, well, we've got inflation growth, we've got population growth, we're the fastest growing county, we need all of these funds, like we are going to shut down if we don't have all these. And then there's the Ottawa Impact is the other kind of extreme side of this discussion, and that is that obviously we can go back to at least 2019 COVID, right before COVID levels, which again doesn't really sound super extreme. Like, we can spend as little as we did before COVID, I mean, it's not super extreme. It is a little bit. I don't know if Ottawa Impact has filled their gas tanks lately around here, but it is gas is still sitting at around 381. I think I saw it on my way home. So that's still almost double. The prices of things have gone up. So as I was talking to Commissioner Bonema, it just seems that some kind of compromise can be reached. Again, if the health department does not shut down, the Holland Sentinel is just slandering the Ottawa Impact commissioners at this point. They better be absolutely certain that the health department is being shut down, or man, they have made some bold claims. They have made huge promises. I don't think they can deliver on. So I really think that the commissioners aren't going to let the health department shut down, because that's illegal, and I think they know that. Having 2 nurses and a couple businessmen and just a wide range of commissioner experience on the board, I think that they're gonna keep the health department open if it's possible for them to do that, which I think it is. So we got these 2 different extremes, right? And it seems really like there's not going to be any discussion. There's no one seems to be willing to come to the table. I mean, actually, I can't say that. Ottawa Impact does seem to be willing to come to the table and talk to Adeline Hambley, but they've also said that her attempts to get into the newspapers and get into people's heads with their social media posts kind of shows that they're not interested in having a good faith discussion about this. There's also, there's been the argument that saying that a 5% saying a 5% overall budget cut for all departments is not possible, but then coming back with, a 60% budget cut for the Ottawa County Health Department. There's that the claim that is unreasonable can be made, and it can kind of be substantiated. I'm not going to say that, again, this doesn't seem punitive. It does a little bit. I would ask, if it is punitive, why didn't they do this earlier? But then you can also come back with the other side. Why didn't they do it earlier if they wanted to cut the health department's budget down? Maybe they just saw the budget and they were like, goodness, what are we spending this on? And then they decided to ask Adeline Hambley to come back with a different one. I don't know, because I haven't really been able to talk to the commissioners about all this, but it'd be great if I could, and if I could get some feedback on all that. Commissioner Moss, Sylvia Rohde, Commissioner Rohde, actually, you're my commissioner, so I would love to hear from you about this and talk to you a little bit more about it. I think that you're supposed to be my contact for, you're supposed to represent me specifically. You're in my district seat, so that'd be great. Open invitation, obviously, for all the commissioners to come on here always and talk about what exactly is going on here, to get the tough questions given to them so that they can really evaluate what we're doing. Maybe there's a different way to do it. I don't know. I'm just a dumb podcast guy. I'm just a dumb, elementary school teacher. I don't really know if there's a better way to do this, but possibly. And maybe we can talk about it, and maybe I can push back on some of your ideas, and maybe my pushback's stupid and you can just decimate it with one fell swoop, and that'd be great. I would love to hear you just decimate my arguments, but we still have to have them, otherwise the public doesn't really know. And so we get to Joe Moss's response here to Justin Barclay. And Justin Barclay is a good guy. He is a freedom-loving man. He reports on a lot of the stuff that's going on in our state. He talks about the fight for freedom and this whole COVID thing, and how everything went crazy during COVID. But he doesn't really push back at all on Commissioner Moss. Let's watch a little bit of that. This is Commissioner Moss talking about the administrative changes.
Where did the money go, Joe?
Well, I can answer part of that question, at least from a county perspective. 2 years ago, the county added 42 COVID staff positions.
Wow.
Uh, and those people presumably have been working the last 2 years on their COVID response.
Was
Uh,
this contact tracing or?
that was part of it. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. And now that we're past the government response to the pandemic, those positions should end as it was discussed in the very beginning. This was an emergency response by the county
Yeah.
under the prior board and under the prior health officer. And so now that we're past this, we should go back to normal, and we can work with the people who are, who may be moving on to find different positions, and we can have empathy for those people or those changing roles. But still, as a county board, we're entrusted to make difficult decisions, but to make the right decision. And so should we continue spending it 17, 18, 19 million a year for public health? My answer is definitely not.
What about the response from Adeline Hambley, who is
just a little bit of it.
The current health officer here in Ottawa County? She says that these cuts would gut the department right now. Those are her words. In fact, she says proposed budget reductions.
There's some of the reporting
significantly impair and likely eliminate various public health services and the health department's ability to maintain public health and safety. It is ridiculous to expect that services in 2024 could be completed with the budget below 2009 funding levels, she says. Now, I'm just, a lot of times we hear you give something in government. You start a program, you start giving something out, and you can never take it away. Right. You guys are going to look like the bad guy saying, hey, we need to be fiscally responsible here. But let me ask you, cutting that money, what does that give you the opportunity to do? In other words, where is that money better spent? You're keeping an eye on it and holding folks accountable for it.
Two answers there, Justin. Number one, her narrative is just silly, and that's what it is a narrative. Public health has become very good at using fear and propaganda.
So, I mean, if you watch the interview, you can watch the full thing. It's on Twitter. I mean, good questions, I guess, but not exactly hardball questions that are going to push the conversation forward at all. Again, the 40 plus jobs that the health department added is a bit much. It's a little much. Was that all of where the money went? Well, I would assume contact tracing. Did we sink any money into apps? Did we sink money into giving people masks, giving people COVID tests, giving people all these different kinds of things? Like, this is kind of where the money that we have been allocating to the Ottawa County Health Department has been going. Has it has been from our general fund. You can't claim that this was all from grants being given to us, because our general fund has increased tremendously. So Joe Moss, the Ottawa Impact Commissioner, is trying to get that general fund contribution down from the Ottawa County or to the Ottawa County Health Department. The Ottawa County Health Department then runs screaming with their hair on fire and says, we're all going to die. We're going to shut down. Children won't be able to get medical services. So the response is a little nuts. And so how do we as a county handle our health department using official county communication to spread what is called misinformation? And okay, so I want to back up here just a little bit because I did get some I talked with Doug Zylstra a little bit about um, the county newsletter. There we go. I was racking my brain. County newsletter, and he said that if it isn't representative of the board, then we shouldn't have it. So I'm curious, Doug. Maybe you can shoot me over. What do you think about this? Really, absolutely. Unverified response from the health department on official means of county communication. So, because I'm sure it doesn't represent everybody at the health department. Does everybody in the health department think that this is going to happen? I don't know. It could. It very well could, but I doubt it. I think there's at least a couple people in the health department that maybe would disagree. So the response, though, from the Ottawa County Commissioners has been, well, not the Ottawa County Commissioners, the Ottawa County Administrator, Mr. Gibbs, has been to seize the social media accounts. So it says, we go here to the Holland Sentinel, who hours after the request was made is on the scene with all of the facts somehow. Hambley used the health department's social media account on Thursday, August 24th, to communicate with the public about the heightened tensions between herself and Gibbs over the appropriate level of funding. They go on to say that they make all the regular claims. They've got to remind their readers every single time of everything that's gone on. So we're going to skip over all that. It says tensions reached a peak Monday when County Communications Director Shannon Felgner was ordered to disable access to the department's social media accounts. So they have, again, the email right here, and it's still only about 28 hours after this happened. How did the Sentinel get that so fast? Did they have somebody in the health department that said, hey, FOIA these things? Did they have somebody from the health department just hand it to them? I don't know. I can't answer those questions. I'm sure Sarah Leach won't answer those questions. And I don't know, maybe she will. I guess I can't make that claim. Maybe she will answer the questions. But regardless, the county or the director of the health department is no longer in control of the social media accounts, which I can't say one way or another what kind of, is it right, is it wrong, is it bad, is it good? Who knows? Again, I'm just a dumb, elementary school teacher, so who knows? I could be wrong. But another weird kind of thing that the health department has been doing, I mentioned that they seem to be undermining our own commissioners, and they seem to be undermining other counties' leadership as well. So there was this report out from the Ottawa Impact Commissioners. I want to find that. I really should have had this pulled up. My apologies for not having it pulled up, because I did want to talk about this, and I got to go to Commissioner Joe Moss. So this press release That's not it. Oh my gosh. Can't believe that I'm here it is. Okay, so the Department of Public Health has been working with non-government uh, organizations to talk with other communities about how they get around our Ottawa County commissioners, who again should be leading the county. Last time I checked, the Ottawa County Health Department still does work for the commissioners. So we come to this thing that Marcia Mansaray had gone to. Her talk was called "I Used the Law and the Law Won: Using Law to Advocate and Defend Public Health Power." It's not public health. Not using the law to advocate and defend public health. Not using the law to advocate and defend the people of the public. Public health power. So the description says this presentation will focus on Ottawa County, Michigan, and public health officials' courageous actions to use law to fight back, protecting public health against members of a newly elected governing body that sought to weaken public health power and to replace a professional public health official with a politician who aligns with their agenda. We will cover public health's successful defense against lawsuits to limit public health authority, a lawsuit filed by the health officer to enjoin actions to undermine her authority, and implementation of public health laws. So it goes on. It's really unclear as to what funds she used to go to this thing. Maybe it was on her own dime, but my suspicion is that some of the health department might have been paying for that. We're going to have to do a little bit more digging into that, but the statement just goes on to point out that the Conservative board majority includes 2 nurses, a former social worker, a teacher, and those with businesses and government backgrounds. It says, despite public accusation, this is hardly a board which is unsympathetic to ensuring the public health needs of children, family, and businesses are met. So, man, just a lot of back and forth here with everything. So, one last thing before I go, not a big thing, I guess, in light of everything else going on, but the Ottawa County is looking at getting a what do you call this thing? It's a video surveillance device, video trailer. So they'll be taking video of people.
We would like to use this.
Here we go with this recording in just 1 second. Yeah.
Upcoming grant for the amount of $52,557 from the federal government is for a law enforcement camera trailer. And again, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office is committed to keeping the residents and the visitors of Ottawa County safe. As you know, throughout the county, we hold many events, including festivals, fairs, our parks, road races, such as bicycle or on foot, our beaches, concerts, sporting events. However, with all the growth and opportunity and events that occur within Ottawa.
So he just kind of goes on to kind of justify why he wants these this video trailer. It's mobile. It can go to wherever we're having problems. Well, one citizen pushes back a little bit on that.
I question Big Brother looking over my shoulders every time I go anywhere is the answer to all my problems. I believe there's a bigger issue at hand. What is the organization that's bringing all this kind of stuff to Allendale? Where is it coming from? Is it from within or from without? I believe it's from without. I don't believe watching me is the answer. we need to address what's taking place, the drugs, legalizing marijuana. You can say what you want to, but it has not done anything positive for this community. And for Allendale Township, I question Grand Valley State College and what it's done and why it doesn't introduce class 101, how to be a citizen of this community.
Okay, so he makes a good point. We got Grand Valley State University right there next to us. That's probably the source of a lot of things that are going on in the county. I know I've heard personally about most of the shootings that take place in the county are on the college's grounds. So I don't think that's necessarily an argument against it, but just a little tidbit that isn't all about the Board of Commissioners there for the end. So I want to thank you all for joining me again. Listen, this is the place where I question everything. I don't just question one side. I'm not just an Ottawa Impact guy. I'm not totally against Ottawa Impact. I think they do a lot of good stuff, but I'm not totally for them. So everything requires questioning. Even when you think you've got the right guy in, even when you think everything is going to go super well, even when you think you're winning the battle, you got to still watch your leaders and make sure that good discussion is leading, not just the guy you want. So with that, I want to thank you guys all for joining me today for the fun and watching all of the craziness go on. I'll be back next Tuesday about the same time. So you guys enjoy your week. Make sure that you are following my YouTube. You're sharing it with your friends so that all of them can get all of the information, not just Ottawa Impact's information, not just the Holland Sentinel's information. You need both. So make sure you're sharing that for full coverage so that you can know what's happening here in Ottawa County. With that, I'm Anon Don. This is the Holmes Politicast. I will see you next week.